off of your shoulder. You can get the haneri by sticking your thumb in my palm. Wait until it starts to slip. So Scoochie steps back off.
Oh, okay.
And pretty soon it slips, and you stick your thumb right in the palm of my hand and you got the haneri.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that,
yeah. Okay.
thumb in palm is a recurring thing that you see here.
Yeah. That's cool.
Good. There comes a point at the very end of this where I can't get any more upside down and back. Just keep going. And pretty soon, if I'm going to keep pushing on him, I just slip off. At that point, he sticks his thumb in my palm, and you got the haneri.
Okay, so right at the last. Okay.
Right. As it starts to slide off of you.
I see what you're saying. So I have to keep moving back and out until you move. Okay.
So as they push, you yield.
Right.
Right, it comes right at the end. The important part's the foot motion. The hand is sort of an automatic thing at the very end. When you push on me, I'll let you have enough feedback to think that you're the boss. But it's not so much feedback that when he bumps me, and I'm thrown. So I give him some feedback. There comes a point where he either falls over or lets go. It slides off.
It's a fair amount of backwards going away.
Flip on back. As it starts to slip, you get
Just as it's starting to fall off of the back.
And that's what I was going to this time, because I wasn't probably trying to do it really well. I wasn't going far enough away.
I think right you.
All right, Yame, let's look at the next piece of this thing. This is where it gets good. This is Uke's Revenge. So, once I have this, I take the haneri, hold him on this foot. All right, if you're going to continue your attack, how's it going to be? Yeah, that's about the only way you can continue this attack, and you reach with that hand. When he reaches, thumb in palm, yield enough to get this foot forward and hold his weight on it. Once his weight is held here, lasso that thing around his head, and then pick both of his arms up. Okay? Ooh. All right, so he pushes on my shoulder. And I get to here, preferably. I hold his weight here. When he moves that other leg and gives me the hand, thumb in palm, turn him around, and he submits by either taking a step or stomping a heel. And I put all my toys back. This is another instance of I can't move this guy around unless I hold him on one foot, right? So we get here as I slip out, and if I don't control, there's a lot more stuff that he could do, right? There I've limited the amount of ways that you can continue your attack.
Right.
You continue your attack. Now, assuming that I don't off-balance you, I just let you have your balance however you like it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go with me, right?
Right.
So we know all sorts of responses from randori from this thing, right? So we get here. I just picked it off my shoulder. I hold him on that foot. He tries to continue this, and I hold him on this foot. Okay? That was probably too too large emotion on my part. I was trying to demonstrate for you what's going on. A large part of Ju-no-kata, I think, is control, right? A lot of people like to gripe about Ju-no-kata and how crazy and impractical it is, and my only response to them is, sure, it's stupid, but you can't do it. Right? Right? So if I grab this guy and I have him off balance and he gives me that other hand and I pull crazy like, I can't control the thing. So you modulate the amount of oomph that you put on this guy in order to be able to control the result that you get. All right, see how you like that.
Push it up, feed, rotate. In.
Yeah, I want to go.
Right.
That's right.
Step back.
Good.
Hodkin does some crazy stuff like this where he talks about in order to get the guy upward, you go downward, right? So you're pushing on my shoulder.
Yep.
And so long as I'm giving you reason to think you're winning, pretty soon you're leaning over like me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're sort of following me, right? You're not going to be able to continue that push unless you come with me.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, all that pressure. Yeah, you're
And then-
absolutely right.
And once he's bent and pushing here, he's just pushing himself out of the ground.
On the center. He's on the center.
he's right out, way out in front of the center of balance.
Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Before you know you're in trouble.
You're just pushing. Right here. Oh, and you can literally take them out from that side.
There's a lot you can do there.
That is
You could use that in a lot of places.
Let it go ahead and keep going.
Palm and palm.
yeah.
Other one. Yeah, the thumb slips in right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make it a little easier. Thumb and palm.
That is cool.
There you go.
Because if you want to maintain that,
There you go.
that does wow.
Kind of interesting, isn't it?
I guess I'll do that.
Good.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Isn't it cool when they start saying, whoa, look at that. That's great. Isn't that crazy? It's too cool. So that was Kata Oshi, the shoulder push. The next one is Makikomi. We're fixing to do about 1,000 reps of Makikomi here.
Good, I'm excited.
So I come back in front of dude, I'm trying to find the cameras here.
There you go.
All right, he grabs both my wrists. I would like to go ahead and web that one and sort of put that one in the back of my mind. This one I cut into so that my hand and his hand both face his face. And I start thinking shomenate, right? And about the time I should be hitting him, I slip past, drag my arm over his shoulder to here. Do my little 3-step judo entry. Clamp everything to me and put him in the air. Okay? Here we get to talk about this crazy thing. The books call this closing the gate or the closed gate maneuver, and I don't know why they call it that, but it is a thing that Uke does in order to make every experiment sort of the same. Like you don't do a physics experiment and use different size beakers every time because you get different results, right? You use standardized equipment, okay? So in order to make himself into a standardized thing that I can experiment with, he places his left hand on the side of my butt and posts with it to sort of hold himself in place. And as I pick him up, he straightens out into a plank.
Really?
Planking. And I set him down nicely. All right, so you would like to, as you get used to the thing and get better at the thing, uke almost arches to here, right, with a little bit of back bend. And you would like to, after you get used to the thing and start catching the sweet spot that you can turn him over easily, you would like to end with his head downward and his feet upward. All right? So here we go again. All right? Which?
The very beginning.
Okay. This webs and grabs and just sort of stays in the back of your mind. This one cuts into his wrist. When I'm inside, you see this in Aikido Randori all the time. He has grabbed me and I cut his hands so that both of our hands are facing his face. There's no stopping me from busting him in the face now. Right? Because he's on the outside and behind. When he applies strength just towards his own face. Cool? Play that? If the plank is weird, then don't do it, but try to avoid flapping around on him. So if the plank thing is not working for you, then pick him up and set him down. We're just trying to keep uke from sliding around and being weird and different every time.
Well, the planking is just for exercise purposes.
Right, it's exercise. It's exercise, it's aesthetics, and it's making him standardized so that I can, so that that's not the variable that I'm looking at when I'm repeating the exercise.
Slowing down. It's like slowing down. Yeah, I'll show you.
Once you get this, before you bend over, bend your knees a little bit, hook your butt to him. Once you're lower and you've got him, clamp everything in and then pick him up. That's correct. There you go. Good.
Too far behind, that's why I'm saying you gotta be
Before you bend over, you want to get in position and get all the slack out from between our bodies. All right, so we get here. Before I start to bend over, I get in position and then clamp this. And then I pick up. All right. If we turn in and I'm already bending over, I'm creating slack between me and him, and I'm pushing him away here. Okay? So you want to get upright and tight, and then bend over.
I noticed you got, it felt like you got lighter.
Good. All right, Yame. So, what are you looking for when you're repeating this experiment? You're trying to get closer and closer to the sweet spot, which is that balance point where he just tips over, right? A great example of this thing is using a joystick. All right, if this is our uke, if I put the fulcrum up here and apply some pressure to him, it's going to take a lot of oomph to flip him, right? Down here towards the center, it's easier. Down here, I lose all control, right? So there's a sweet spot where I have ease of execution and control. All right. We're searching for that sweet spot through this repetition. A couple of interesting pointers here. If I step in here and I set my fulcrum high, when I bend over, he goes, and that's a sure sign you didn't get the sweet spot, because you just pressed him in his ribs or in his belly and it made him go, right? So that sound means do it again.
Lower.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If I get way down here, it's very hard to do because my arm's hooked over him. But if I were to get here, he'd fall over me on my head and it'd be so fast I couldn't control it. So we're searching for the sweet spot. Now, here's another little interesting tidbit. Whoa, look at that. That happened by setting up a vibration in him. All right, I took my uke and I knocked him back a little bit and then to the side and then forward and up. And all of a sudden, he's much easier to find the sweet spot on, right? All right, so I want to get this little circular vibration.
Oh, man.
All right. So, looking for the sweet spot is a sure sign you didn't get it. And try to get that vibration working in him. You know, I talk about vibes, right? If you're trying to ring a tuning fork, you can't grab it like this and make it ring, right? And it's easy to use your muscles to, all right, there's a vibration in him, but I damped it out by hanging on to him with muscular strength. All right, so you would like to avoid, once you put that vibration on him, avoid damping it out by clamping. All right, see how that goes.
Then it makes you backwards.
All right, you're on your toes. If we continue this thing, then this tends to slip in. So,
Okay.
well, it crosses, or you get this sort of thing.
Right.
So that,
Could I do that again?
so that he can still reach the ground.
Ah.
Here, you go.
Okay.
So you're trying to put this circle on me. There you go. So you got me back, now you got me sideways, and now you got me forward. Did you see when your body came in and clamped to me?
Oh, too high.
You damped out the ring,
Yeah, I did.
right? I was starting this bit,
Right. And I stopped it.
and you clamped
I
on.
felt it right when it happened, too. That was really weird.
That's a neat experiment, isn't it?
Oh, fabulous.
This comes forward. It puts a little bit of backwards and a little bit of sideways on me. And then everything comes forward and you drop a little bit right there. So when you get close to the sweet spot, you can even pick up fat guys.
I'm trying to get that off balance.
Okay, does that feel like what you're supposed to feel like?
No, it feels like he could have more surface contact with my back and his. So.
Now, there's so little contact between us that I'm not stopping him from vibrating. Right? I'm putting some of that on him, but little enough that he overcomes them, right? So I put this on you. When you overcome it, you overcompensate forward.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get you onto 1 foot. All right. And back a little bit when you begin compensating. Oh, he went, oh.
John can feel that.
I'm a little bit slower than you are. Yeah. I'm already going.
Man, there's nothing like linear work. Good. Good. Here, feel, oh, good. Feel this feel. It's kind of
not doing it in the grab hold. And so it's putting it in a position where it's kind of hard to grab hold.
your heels are off the ground and you're ready to come into the ring. One way to get that is by putting a little backwards on the guy, right? Like push him a little bit, and when he does not agree to fall over backwards, don't let me push on you, come on. Then you get that forward and up.
Oh, okay.
Right? So here, grab this. I'm trying to get a little bit of backwards on you and a little bit of sideways. And then when you respond to it, I'm trying to get this way. And then turn it under. Good?
We're overthinking the circle.
We've overshot it completely.
Okay, check this out.
Stuck.
You push back on her and she's like, oh no.
I'm like the clown doll.
You're like, you're not going to push me over, right? There you go. You get solid. Don't yield to me. Yeah, there. Right there. All right, I push back on you, and then all of a sudden, you respond forward into the air if I don't stop you. Okay, so we're here. There's some of this on you now. You feel it?
I'm on my right heel.
Right, so now your abs are saying, no, I'm not falling backwards. And you turn in there.
So the first thing is back.
Right.
So
that
goes there.
just sort of in the back of your mind, it hangs out.
Okay, so this is what makes you go back?
That makes me sort of flinch back, and then I'm
Okay.
like, no, I'm not going to go back for this. And if you're,
So it's not it's not this hand that's doing it. That you just
this hand is pushing it back, then sideways. This hand is sort of controlling and lifting. So a lot of folks will set up this vibration and then clamp here and hold it down. So there's no way for them to rise up.
The other thing you want to check is
All right, so we're here. That's a great place to throw Makikomi. So it's back towards the side that you want to throw, and then let him respond forward and help him.
back toward the side you want to throw. So this way, back this way. Oh, right.
That's right.
Okay.
So, and you can do that through any sort of connection. Isn't that neat? You can apply that in a lot of places. Create a vibration in the guy, and then throw him. Sure. Thank you.
Relax your arm.
We're looking at height here.
Ah, there you go. And then right here, go ahead.
Uh-huh.
So we're just like height difference or whether.
Well, one thing that you see a lot, and you might see it more with a height difference, is this hand clamps on and holds down and sort of gets stuck in this mode, right? This sort of feel. Now you're not going to come up, right? This off balance. So this hand, instead of holding him down and suppressing that vibration.
Beautiful.
All right, well, you could just about make a hand throw out of that.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Right?
That is really cool.
You could make a beautiful uki atoshi out of that.
May I ask a question? When you're ike, what are you supposed to do with your breathing when you're going up? Like, do you hold your breath? Do you exhale as you're going up? How do you do that?
Well, that noise that he makes when you mash on his belly, that's your breathing. I just breathe. I don't know.
But I mean, when you're going up in the air, are you holding your breath up there?
No, keep breathing.
That's what I would think.
Just like when you're falling. You don't hold it.
Or swimming.
He just grabbed here, and I floated him, and I picked him up and set him down, and he's behind me. So he attacks from there. He places a hand behind my shoulder and a hand in front of my shoulder, and it's like the barroom, hey, come here, sort of thing. Turn him to face you. Just as a general sort of self-defense idea, when somebody grabs you by the shoulder and spins you around, pick your hands up between you and them, right? And what he's fixing to get, if he's not careful, is something like this, or me slipping behind him, okay? So he spins me, right? I pick my hands up, and he withdraws this hand, which leaves this hand for me to play with. I put that same circle from last time on him, push back a little bit and to the side, and draw to here. All right, he clamps here. This is part of that closing the gate thing. He's stabilizing himself here as I stabilize him here. I turn under, and it's a curious grip for Seoi Nage. All right. It is, most folks that teach Seoi Nage now teach it through the crook of the arm here. This is a definite over-the-shoulder Seoi Nage. This hand, instead of taking a grip or clamping here, is just pointing at his shoulder. Okay? So, obviously, the hand, in Judo they call this controlling hand or steering hand or something like this. And this is the power hand, the hand that's putting it on him, right? So usually we control here and put some oomph on him. This is, because of the screwy grip here, this is obviously not the power hand, all right? So I have to get that much closer. I have to get that much closer to the sweet spot. He withdraws this, leaves me this, back and sideways and here, right? With just the controlling hand and my fulcrum. All right. So it's the same action as before, where last time we were making him do the circle with this hand. Here we're making him do the circle with this hand. All right? And slip in, and screwy grip makes you get the sweet spot better. One more. Thank you.